is Tracy. She tries to force her way in and gets it to fall. Three-point shot for Irwin. Perfect. Pierre Gustavo will take the shot from three-point range. Jess Tomaso answers right back with the three. Right on cue, it's Valenzola for three for Burley, and she sinks the basket. Dahlgren, who takes the quick shot. Liskoff lets it go and knocks it down. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in once again to the gymnasium at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. Tonight, a very special presentation of Lady Hawks basketball for you this evening, as it is the final home game of this 2016-17 regular season. So it is senior night in the building here tonight. So a very special night for the 5 seniors on this varsity roster, as Milford gets set to welcome in division rival North Attleboro. This is Tim Coet on the call. And so again, we are right down to the wire in this 2016-17 regular season. Just 2 games remain on the schedule for the Lady Hawks, including this one tonight. They wrap up their home schedule here tonight against North before heading out on the road for a game on February 17th at Sharon, taking on the Lady Eagles in the final day of the regular season. But of course, these final 2 games, an opportunity for this Milford squad to tune up for the playoffs. That's right, playoff basketball will be returning to Milford for this girls basketball program for the first time since 2012. Milford sitting on 8 wins since midway through the season. They were able to earn their 9th win of the season back on February 3rd against Stoughton, but suffering 2 tough losses to Canton and Foxborough after that, so getting down to the final days of the regular season, still in search for that 10th victory that would guarantee them a spot in the MIAA tournament, and they were able to come through with that win just 24 hours ago on the road playing against their non-conference rival Hopedale. Milford was able to come through with a 55-37 win, 17 points for Kate Irwin in the victory, 10 points for the senior captain Jill Burley, and so Milford would not be denied any longer, earning that victory over the Hopedale Lady Blue Raiders. Milford was able to improve to 10-8 overall on the season with 10 wins. That means you are in to the MIAA tournament. So again, the first time since 2012, such a huge accomplishment for this team that has felt like it has been on the rise for the last couple of seasons. They came ever so close to a playoff spot last season, coming up just 1 win shy at the end of the year, but that will not be the case this season. Milford will be in the tournament, and so now an opportunity to potentially move up in the seedings over these last 2 games, but it will be 2 difficult games. Of course, Sharon to close out the season, and tonight a rematch with the North Attleboro Lady Rocketeers. North Attleboro new to the Davenport division this season, but playing very well. They come into action here tonight in 2nd place in the Davenport standings with an overall record of 14-4. They have long since locked up a tournament berth. They are 12-2 within league play. They trail only Foxborough, but they still have an outside chance at catching Foxborough and potentially winning a Davenport division crown. So North Attleboro, despite already being in the playoffs, still has plenty to play for here tonight. And these 2 teams played an extremely exciting and hard-fought game against one another earlier in the season. That came back on January 17th in North Attleboro. It ended up being a 51-45 win for North, but Milford led that game by double digits in the first half. They led by a point with just 90 seconds to go, but North Attleboro ended up coming through with a crucial steal. It was Ashley Ahern, one of the talented upperclassmen for this North Attleboro squad, who was able to pull off that steal, and then some clutch shots at the free throw line over the final seconds sewed up the win for North. But again, Milford giving the Lady Rocketeers all they could handle on their home floor, so Milford hoping that playing here in the Milford gym tonight will be the difference maker. And these are 2 teams headed to the postseason. We talked to Coach Dolliver prior to the game. North Attleboro looking like they could potentially be a 4 seed in their division bracket, so they are a very tough customer, and this is an opportunity for Milford to test their playoff skills against a playoff-bound team. It should be an outstanding matchup. The final regular season game here in the Milford gym for the girls, perhaps the final game here in the gym for the season, depending on what happens with the playoff seedings. But a big one here tonight for the Lady Hawks as they take on the North Attleboro Lady Rocketeers. And of course, as we mentioned off the top, it is senior night. So that means that before we get started with this game tonight, we will bring you all of the senior night festivities. Those are expected to get started just prior to tip-off, so we will step aside very briefly, and we will bring you those senior night festivities when we come back next, right here on Milford TV. And welcome back inside the Milford gym, everybody. Tim Coed here, getting set to bring you girls basketball coverage between Milford and North Attleboro on senior night. Senior night festivities going on down at court level before this game gets started. Head coach for the Milford girls, TJ Dolliver, presiding over the ceremonies. And right now, if the audio is not coming through for Coach Dolliver down courtside, giving flowers to the senior players for North Attleboro, a nice gesture that you typically see for the opposing team on senior night. And now an opportunity here for Coach Dolliver to recognize his seniors. And so again, if the audio for Coach Dolliver is not coming through on the broadcast, announcing to the crowd that the playoff berth was secured for this team last night, and also some glowing praise from Coach Dolliver for his 5 seniors who right now stand alone in front of the bench, with the underclassmen and juniors standing out on the court, getting ready to recognize each individual player. And so now those individual honors beginning here on the court as the senior captain, Jill Burley, gets a big hug from junior Kate Irwin and also from Kate Lobiser as she receives flowers. Jill Burley, an extremely hard worker for this team, one of the fastest, most athletic players on this team. A starter throughout this season, as now her parents come out to join her at center court. And you can't say enough about the hard work of a player like Jill Burley. Not very outspoken, not one of the loudest personalities on this team, but just leads by example and does that as well as any athlete at Milford High School. And pausing now for a photo opportunity with her parents. Again, just a very nice opportunity here before the final home game of the season. You see it with all the teams and all of the sports throughout the year, but always a nice moment to see the parents have an opportunity to be recognized along with their student athletes, as now Brianna Croto, another senior, gets recognized over by the bench, getting flowers handed to her by Julie Rabinowitz. And Brianna will now head out to center court for a photo opportunity with her family as well. Brianna hasn't had quite as many minutes as the other 4 seniors on this team this season, but you certainly have to tip your cap to Bree for the work that she's done when she's been called upon this season, and also just a terrific athlete for her 4 years here at Milford High School, and played a major part in a very successful playoff run for the girls volleyball team this past fall, coming up with some big plays for that team. Again, another quiet player. There are some bigger personalities on this team, but Bree, very quiet, does not like the spotlight, likes to just keep her head down and work hard. And I know that is an attribute of hers that is very much appreciated by her teammates. And now Nicole Dahlgren, her opportunity to be recognized. And her parents, who are here night in and night out and have been for both the soccer and basketball seasons for the last 4 years. They head out to center court as well. And certainly a laundry list of things that you can say about Nicole for the amount of work that she has put in what has been a stellar 4-year athletic career here at Milford High School. Again, a multi-sport athlete. She's been a varsity player for soccer and basketball, an outstanding defensive soccer player. Just recently signed her letter of intent to move on to play soccer at Merrimack College, where she'll be a huge piece of that team for the next 4 years, and of course has also been a standout performer, a great 2-way player on this basketball team as well. So huge congratulations to Nicole on a very successful career. And now Emma Liskoff heads out to center court. Emma's had a very interesting role on this basketball team this season. She hasn't been a starter here in her senior season, but she has been extremely productive and a really great weapon for Coach Dolliver off the bench. We've seen some very clutch shooting out of Emma, both inside and outside. A terrific rebounder, a hard-nosed defensive player. And so her contributions to this team have been exceptional this season in particular, but again, going back the last several seasons as this team has been playing together for a very long time. A very close bond amongst all of these players, as now Christine Pye has an opportunity to be recognized. Another player we've seen play multiple sports for Milford High School in past seasons. Up until her junior season, we saw her playing as the goalkeeper for the soccer team. Was not a part of the soccer team this year, but has had a very healthy and very productive season for this basketball team. This season has been amongst the top scorers for the team. And great leadership as well, as she now is recognized with her family. Getting more folks into the photo op here. As, again, I mentioned just a moment ago, this is a team with a lot of very tight bonds. A lot of these players, these 5 seniors, have been on this varsity team since their freshman season, going through a coaching change with Coach Dolliver coming on a couple of seasons ago. But as they've continued to progress through this program, especially under Coach Dolliver's tutelage, they've continued to improve, they've continued to grow, and now an opportunity for these 5 seniors to play in their first playoff game of their high school careers. So a great opportunity there. So a very nice ceremony honoring those 5 seniors. Again, we recognize Nicole Dahlgren, Emma Liskoff, Christine Pye, Brianna Croto, and Jill Burley. 5 terrific standout athletes for this varsity program. So we'll finish off with the pregame festivities here as the starting 5s are announced. We'll give you those starting 5s right in just a few moments. We'll step away as we complete the pregame intros, and we have the Star Spangled Banner, and we will be back, and it will be time for basketball as Milford takes on North Attleboro, the regular season home finale here at the Milford Gym, and we'll see it get started right after this here on Milford TV. And once again, we welcome you back inside the gymnasium. It is now officially time for basketball as Milford and North Attleboro take to the floor. The home finale for the regular season for the Lady Hawks, and quickly we'll bring you the starting 5s for these 2 teams. For North Attleboro, it is Samantha Taggart, Emily Skrom, Julia Field, Caroline Collard, and Liz Morehouse. And for Milford, as you can see, it is an all-senior starting 5 on this senior night. Nicole Dahlgren, Emma Liskoff, Christine Pye, Jill Burley, and Brianna Croto getting the start in this one. As basketball is now underway here in Milford. Tim Coet flying solo on the broadcast here tonight. And a quick play for Milford under the basket as Emma Liskoff cuts inside and gets a quick 2 to get Milford started. Very nice play drawn up by Coach Dolliver off that opening tip. Again, North Attleboro, a 14-win team, although it does appear that they are playing without the services of one of their star players as Milford gets the turnover. Ashley Ahern, who we mentioned in the open, one of the top scorers for this team, a very talented player, not in the gym here this evening. As the 3-point shot for Nicole Dahlgren goes up and over the backboard. Possession going over to North Attleboro. I did read a few weeks ago that Ashley Ahern was battling through an injury. I'm not sure if that has taken her out of the mix for the remainder of the season. Unfortunately, do not have that information, but she is not a part of the starting 5 here tonight, as again, Milford looks to force another turnover. Jill Burley going down to the floor, and they call for the jump ball and the possession arrow going Milford's way. Or excuse me, the possession arrow going North Attleboro's way, my apologies, and right off the inbounds pass, it is Liz Morehouse who is able to get that short little jumper to fall, and it's tied at 2 in the early stages of this one. Milford continuing to operate with their 5 seniors on the floor. Kate Irwin, the leading scorer for this team, a junior and a spectator to start. Jill Burley fighting her way inside, just couldn't get the finish. A good move to the rim. And that one ends up out of play. North Attleboro, very impressive, very consistent all season long. Just 2 losses within Hockomock League play. Only 4 losses overall on the season. And again, they expect to be a very high seed in their playoff bracket. And in a hard-fought battle with the Foxborough Lady Warriors for the top spot in the Davenport division. Off the missed 3, the ball loose under the basket. Dahlgren comes away with it, drives her way inside before dishing out to Croto. And now they swing it back around to Christine Pye for the long 2, no good. And the rebound is scooped up by North Attleboro. Quickly pushing it up the floor. And they get the basket on the other side. That was Caroline Collard, who is also a very talented offensive weapon. And right down in response, it is Dahlgren. She hits the three, and that pushes Milford back in front. Both coaches very active on the sidelines. Coach Dolliver for Milford and the head coach for North Attleboro, Derek Herber. They feed it inside to Liz Morehouse, guarded defensively by Dahlgren. Now the three, offline for Samantha Taggart. Dahlgren trapped in the backcourt, but Croto comes back to receive the pass, and now the foul away from the play. Milford will inbound with just over 5 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Liskoff now trying to feed it right back to Dahlgren inside, but it's ripped away by Collard. And the outlet pass up ahead to Taggart. Taggart in the corner for Morehouse. She drives baseline and gets fouled. And they call the foul on Juliana Tracy. Quickly entering into this game as Coach Dolliver now starts to go to the bench. Still no sign of Kate Irwin coming into this game as she still has the warm-up on the sidelines. But the junior Juliana Tracy taking over on the floor. North Attleboro able to recover. Now Morehouse gets a good look inside and she takes advantage. 4 points early on in this one for Liz Morehouse. And Milford's offense finding their form in the second half of the game against Hopedale just 24 hours ago, ultimately getting over 50 points and winning the game comfortably. Off the inbounds pass, Dahlgren goes back to work. She has 5 early points as Brianna Croto just moments ago heading to the bench, and Kate Irwin checks in for the first time. And Morehouse fouled underneath. Morehouse, a power player underneath the basket. Milford trying to adjust defensively, but that time committing the foul. And Liz Morehouse can't connect on that first free throw attempt as now Juliana Tracy heads to the bench. Jill Valenzola checks in for the first time. So Coach Dolliver getting a lot of personnel activated early on in this game. 1 for 2 for Morehouse. That's good to tie the game at 7. A little pressure put on in the backcourt by North, but Milford's able to break it. Valenzola looking for a pass. Now they feed it into Emma Liskoff, and she gets fouled. A lot of fouls early on in this first quarter. Still 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the first, as now Liskoff will go to the line. Talked about the many attributes that Emma Liskoff brings to this Lady Hawks team. And one of those that you most certainly have to talk about is the free throw shooting. She misses one there, but typically a very strong free throw shooter. You'd really have to say the most reliable free throw shooter on the team, along with Irwin. Another stoppage here with 3:45 to go. As the ball went out of play, Milford takes over up by a point. And we see that pressure at center court, but some good passing. Valenzola tries for the shot, gets it blocked, able to get it back initially, but the second shot for Valenzola blocked as well, and this time North Attleboro forces the turnover. Now, good speed shown. And North able to connect. And so now it's The Lady Rocketeers up by a point as Irwin handles. They find Burley, a long pass from Liskoff, but the 3-ball offline. Into the hands of Taggart. She takes her time advancing the ball into the front court. As now Irwin picks up on defense. And the pass trying to find Collard is intercepted by Liskoff, who's been very active right from the start of this one. A little touch pass into Valenzola. Can't find a pass, so just banks the shot home for 2. Good play by Valenzola. Puts Milford into double figures. Still holding on to a 1-point edge. Milford scored 19 first quarter points against North Attleboro when they played back on January 19th. Led for most of the game, but North able to catch Milford in the end. Another turnover, and it was Liskoff, the driving force behind it. They give Irwin a little bit of space. She spots up for her first 3 of the night, but kicks off the back of the rim and ends up out of play. And now we'll see some more substitutions for Coach Dolliver. So now it is Irwin along with Emily Pierre-Gustavo, Nicole Dahlgren, Christine Pye, and Jill Valenzola, the 5 on the floor for the Lady Hawks with just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Swing the pass back to Taggart. Now it's Collard down low against Valenzola. Couldn't get a good shot off, but the loose ball ends up rolling out towards North. They're able to reset. Now a couple of chances underneath the basket. North can't capitalize. Now they call for the jump ball. And this time the possession arrow going in Milford's favor, so some tough defensive work under the basket as North Attleboro had about 3 chances on that possession. Now here's Pierre-Gustavo from 3. Milford not getting much going in terms of their long-range shooting in this first quarter, which is coming down to the final minute. Back outside to Pierre-Gustavo. Coach Dolliver urging his team to continue to move on this offensive side of the floor. Is now Collard able to come through with the turnover. Now the bounce pass into the shoe tops of Collard, but she's able to recover all alone from 3-point range as Julia Field, and she's able to hit it. It's a 2-point edge for North Attleboro. Just a couple of seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Kate Irwin aggressively taking it to the basket though. And now she'll head to the free throw line. Took some hard contact as she went up for that shot. And now they will not award free throws, instead an inbounds pass from Dahlgren, almost ending up over the outstretched arms of Valenzola. She's able to pull it down, but she can't make the shot. And now with 15 seconds left, North Attleboro a chance to play for the last shot, up by 2. As they drive inside, lose control. Dahlgren has it, quickly gets the pass. Now gets it back with 3 seconds to go. Can Milford get a shot away? They leave it for Irwin at the buzzer, and she gets it to bank home. Irwin does it again at the buzzer. Nobody better than Kate with the ball in her hands and the clock winding down. Irwin banks a 3-point shot to bring the first quarter to a close. That gets the fans ignited. Milford takes a 13-12 lead at the conclusion of the first quarter of play. A nice play by Kate, and a lot more coming up in just moments here on Milford TV. Not the first time we've seen that out of Kate Irwin. The buzzer-beating shot to conclude the opening quarter of play. It gives Milford a 1-point edge as we enter into the second quarter here on our coverage of Lady Hawks basketball here on Milford TV. I am Tim Coette. And Collard for North Attleboro getting the opening shot here in the second. Just missing, and a couple of opportunities at the rebound, but Milford comes away with it. Now the pass pushed ahead to Jess Tomaso, and they will wave off the shot. Milford called for the travel. And so now it's Taggart taking the ball back up the floor for the Lady Rocketeers. Again, North with still an outside shot at catching Foxborough for the Davenport Division title. And speaking of outside shots, there's one knocked down by Julia Field. That's her second three-pointer of the game. And it pushes the Lady Rocketeers right back in front, 15-13. It's been a back and forth half so far. Pierre Gustavo gets trapped on the baseline, gets it back out. Now Christine Pye with one defender to beat, but a great play defensively. That was Julia Field doing it now on the defensive side of the floor. Getting good position on Christine Pye and coming away with the turnover. A lot of turnovers on both sides through this first half, and now Field lets it fly again from three-point range. It's no good. The foul called underneath the basket. It stops the clock with just over 6.5 minutes to go. The foul called against Emily Pierre Gustavo. And Liz Morehouse, the senior, her second trip to the free throw line tonight. One for three so far from the line. Chance to push the lead to three, and she's able to do it. Irwin lobs the pass ahead to Pierre Gustavo. She sets the feet, but the three-point shot over everything. Tomaso locking up for the jump ball. Milford will retain possession here. Pierre Gustavo heads to the bench after that missed shot. Irwin and Dahlgren going back and forth on the perimeter. Now they feed it down low to Valenzola. Quick bounce pass to Pye before they feed it back out, trying to spread out the North defense. They set up Irwin for the off-balance two. It's no good, but eventually the foul is called. And they get the foul called on Caroline Collard. It's a player Milford would like to see get into foul trouble here. Very dangerous when she's out on the floor. Valenzola at the line, misses her first. Back to a two-point game. Two evenly matched teams to this point in the contest. Good look from three, set up off the screen, but Emily Scrum can't put it in. Now here's Irwin again, hard to the basket. Couldn't quite split that double team, and now here's North Attleboro sprinting up the floor in transition. They missed the layup, and a very quick jump ball called for there. It looked like Tomaso was going to wrestle that rebound away, but a break for North Attleboro as the possession arrow went their way. Julia Field calling for it in the corner. She's feeling that three-point shot here in the first half. Gets it back now, but double teamed by the combo of Pye and Tomaso. And now they go back down low to Collard. North Attleboro called for the travel. A little over 5 minutes to go in the half. We've seen this consistent pressure in the backcourt for North Attleboro through much of this half. They slide back now as Milford advances the ball. Tomaso gets contact from behind as she receives the pass. And That's another foul against Collard, so that's going to force her to the bench. Dahlgren, the pass out to Valenzola, thought about it from the free throw line, drives inside, can't make the shot. And now called for the travel, and Valenzola not happy with the call, but quickly turns around and heads back up the floor to get into position defensively, not arguing the point. And now the substitution on the North Attleboro side is Emily Haskell, the junior, comes out onto the floor. Morehouse now hard to the basket, but can't finish. Tommaso with the rebound. Jess Tommaso doing some dirty work underneath the basket in this first half. Coming down to 4.5 minutes to go in this first half. Tommaso eventually gets the pass to Dahlgren. 8 seconds left on the shot clock as Tommaso hoists it up. But Milford struggles from three-point range continue. We saw the three early in the game from Dahlgren as that ball gets deflected right into the arms of Valenzola. And now the no-look pass from Irwin to Dahlgren. What a pretty play as Dahlgren finishes up to 7 points now for the senior captain. Ties the game at 16. Taggart trying to find a lane to the basket, gets it into the hands of Morehouse. Now the shot clock winding down for North. 6 seconds left as that ball eludes the grasp of Mackenzie Roberts. Now Irwin flies up the floor and finishes with the right hand. Too much speed for Irwin. The defense couldn't close in. Irwin with 5 points now in the first half as Roberts has a clear lane to the basket and takes advantage. Tied again now at 18 apiece. Pass a little too high for Irwin to pull down. Kate listed at 5'6" on the roster. It's Fields who takes the ball up the floor. Morehouse out to set a screen, now gets the pass inside. Drives in, gets a couple of bounces around the rim. Helping her cause as Morehouse is up to 8 first half points. Emma Liskoff back out on the floor. That one rolling around and comes through for 3 for Liskoff. And the 3 answered right back on the North Attleboro side. Haskell coming off the bench here in the second quarter, coming through with the big bucket. And a little lackadaisical play underneath the basket there for North allowed Liskoff to sneak in and get that rebound. 2 North Attleboro players in the vicinity, but slow to react. Liskoff taking advantage. And Milford now trying to finish with points. Juliana Tracy getting fouled. Julia Fields getting called for the foul on the North Attleboro side. 1:50 to go in this first half as Liskoff sends it quickly into Dahlgren. Connects for 2 more points immediately off that inbounds pass. Tied at 23 as Milford gets called for the blocking foul. Valenzola called for it. As Caroline Collard comes back out onto the floor. A couple of first half fouls. Takes the lob pass off the inbounds. Taggart sneaks out on the near wing for an uncontested shot, but can't knock it home. Milford gets the rebound, now up the floor as Liskoff lets it go from the far side. No good. Valenzola with the rebound. She can't put it back. And the ball knocked out of play off of North. Valenzola now to the bench. She's had some good looks tonight, but some tough luck on the offensive side of the floor. Try to thread that pass to Juliana Tracy. It ends up in the hands of Dahlgren, who just pulled those feet back. Gets credited for the three. 7 points here in the second quarter for Dahlgren. And she's up to 12 points in all. An excellent first half performance as Haskell lost her footing, but North keeps the possession going. 40 seconds to go in the half. Milford up by 3. North Attleboro looking for the tie. No good. And they call the foul. Milford had a chance for that defensive rebound. Kate Irwin ends up getting called for the foul. And so this will send Julia Field to the free throw line with 32.8 seconds left. Field has a couple of three-pointers in this first half. That free throw brings her point total up to 7. A chance to make it a one-point game with 32 seconds to play until halftime. She misses the second. North gets the rebound, but then the ball stripped away. Liskoff comes away with it. Just about a second difference between shot clock and game clock. On the move, Irwin getting that pass, couldn't finish. Now it's Liskoff under the basket, and she will head to the line. Milford would not be denied on the offensive glass. And Liskoff with her second trip to the free throw line in this half. Trying to stretch the lead to 3 with 13.9 seconds to go. And some rare misses there for Liskoff. Liskoff called for the foul after the missed free throw. And Liskoff will head to the bench. Emily Pierre-Gustavo takes her place. 13 seconds even left. Chance for North to tie or take the lead right here at the end. Five seconds to go. Field thought about it from long range. Now it's Taggart. Her shot offline. 1 second left. North gets the rebound, but they don't have a chance to put up another shot. As the first half comes to an end, Milford able to hold on to the lead. They take a 26-24 advantage into halftime. And a well-played game on both sides. Some big shots getting knocked down. Nicole Dahlgren really a standout offensive performance through that first half, as she had 12 points in the first half to pace this Milford offense. And again, a 26-24 advantage. As we enter into halftime, we'll step away, and we will have the start of the third quarter for you when we come back. Again, you are watching coverage of Milford High School athletics right here on Milford TV. And once again, we welcome you back inside the Milford Gym. Second half action about to get underway on this senior night here for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks, taking on the North Attleboro Lady Rocketeers. It's a 26-24 edge for Milford, as third quarter action commences here on Milford TV. Again, I am Tim Coet bringing you the call this evening. Milford misses on the opening shot of the half. as it is Kate Irwin along with Emma Liskoff, Nicole Dahlgren, Jill Valenzola, who comes through with that block. And Juliana Tracy, the 5 on the floor to start the second half. Coach Dolliver sticking with Emma Liskoff out on the floor for the majority of this game, likes what he's seen out of Emma on both sides of the floor. Liskoff with 6 points in the first half. Coming through with a number of turnovers as well, active hands, especially underneath the basket. And this time a turnover on the Milford side. Still in the opening minute of play here in the third quarter. Milford entering into play tonight with an overall record of 10-8, earning their 10th victory just 24 hours ago over at Hopedale Junior Senior High School, cementing their spot in the upcoming MIAA playoffs. As that one rattles home for Taggart. Samantha Taggart, just her first points of the night. And it ties the game at 26. One problem we have seen in a lot of these home games we have covered for the girls team this season has been issues offensively in the third quarter. And an issue that has plagued this team in seasons past. We've seen it crop up from time to time this season as well. Trying to find a way to come out strong to begin the second half. As Liz Morehouse now comes through for North as they claim the first 4 points of this third quarter. Long pass finds Tracy. Now Dahlgren sending one to Liskoff with her feet on the line. And the shot doesn't land for Liskoff, so 3 trips up the floor for Milford, each time walking away empty-handed. Now good play defensively for Liskoff, and then Valenzola underneath the basket. Liskoff comes away with the ball. The lead pass ahead for Dahlgren. Can't get it on the first attempt. Gets a couple of rebound chances, and now gets fouled. And Dahlgren now a chance from the free throw line. Seen the student section start to fill up a bit more for the second half. Dahlgren, meanwhile, coming through with the first free throw. Chance to once again knot this game up with one more free throw to go. Dahlgren now up to 14 points. Taggart now guarded by Irwin. Trying to feed Collard down low. Just to go track it down. Now they send it out to Morehouse. She drives inside, goes down hard. I believe the foul was called on Juliana Tracy. And Collard off the inbounds. Can't find the hoop. Now Liskoff on the other side of the floor in full stride. And Milford will have a chance to inbound with just 4 ticks off of the shot clock. They send it outside to Kate Irwin, who has just 5 points. She had that electrifying buzzer-beating 3 to conclude the first quarter. But that's just one of 2 made baskets for Kate so far on the night. Coming off of a 17-point performance last night against Hopedale. So Milford playing in the second end of back-to-backs, the back end of back-to-backs, I should say, whereas North Attleboro has not played since back on Friday. After the foul, Liz Morehouse to the line. 3 of 5 from the line so far tonight. Goes 2 for 2 on that particular trip. Neither team has been able to extend a lead here on the night. I believe the largest lead in this game has only been 3 points. Right now it's a 2-point advantage for North Attleboro. Irwin cutting into the basket as the pass goes to Burley. Now they try to find Dahlgren, but too many bodies in between. North able to intercept the pass. And now Taggart left alone for 3. Too good a look. And that forces Coach Dolliver to call the timeout. North Attleboro starting to make a little bit of a run here in the third quarter. They find themselves in front 33-28. We'll step aside for the timeout. Much more to come here in the second half next on Milford TV. As the teams return after the timeout, I had an opportunity to talk with the Milford head coach TJ Dolliver prior to the game tonight, an interview that we will share with you on the Milford Informer this Friday night. But talking about how there are a lot of moving parts still with a couple of days to go in this regular season. And depending on how Milford was able to come away in these final 2 games, the Lady Hawks could have an outside chance at hosting a first-round playoff game, but a lot of teams bunched up around that 500 mark. You never know where you could end up, and there could also be a situation where if teams are tied record-wise, you could be looking at a coin flip to determine seedings. Samantha Taggart, meanwhile, really starting to hit her stride here in the third quarter with 7 points now, as both teams with an opportunity for a turnover there at center court. It's North Attleboro who takes it up the floor, and they get fouled underneath the basket. But something interesting to keep in mind if it ends up going to a coin flip for multiple teams for playoff seedings at the end of the year. That was something that the Milford boys team went through at the conclusion of last season after that improbable run to 500 to put them in the playoffs. The boys ended up in a 3-way coin flip with Holliston and I believe Hopkinton also. And Milford came out on the losing end of that coin flip, ended up with the worst seeding position of the 3 teams. So Milford hoping they can come away with wins here in these final 2 games, but all of a sudden things starting to get away from them here in this third quarter. And again, it is Taggart who has been absolutely on fire. And Milford called for another turnover, as all of a sudden now, just a moment ago, we were talking about 2-point leads back and forth, and now North Attleboro has flexed this lead all the way out to 11. That happening in a hurry, and again, almost single-handedly by Samantha Taggart, who has the ball in her hands right now. They found something that's certainly working with the senior. And out for 3 now, you can count it for Julia Field. She gets back into the mix, and Coach Dolliver is forced to call another timeout. Milford held to just 2 points to this juncture in the third quarter, as North Attleboro is putting on an offensive show. Coach Dolliver very unhappy as he talks things over with the team. So again, while we have the opportunity, we'll take a look now at the complete Davenport division standings with just a couple of days to go in the season. 3 teams already know they are playoff bound. Foxborough, North Attleboro, and Milford all will head to tournament play. Foxborough right now leads the Davenport with a 15-2 overall record, 13-2 in league play. North Attleboro right behind at 14-4 overall, 12-2 in league play. And then it is Milford in third place position at 10-8 overall and at 6-8 within league play. Stoughton, Canton, and Sharon rounding out the Davenport division standings. Canton and Sharon eliminated from playoff contention. Stoughton at 7-10. I'm not sure exactly how many games Stoughton has left. but they would in all likelihood have to win out to even have a chance at the playoffs. And over on the Kelly Rec side, 3 teams already in the tournament: Mansfield, Oliver Ames, and Attleboro, who has fallen to 3rd place in those standings. Franklin's at 8-9 overall. They could very easily get into the tournament. And then King Philip and Taunton having tough years rounding out the Kelly Rec standings. As we now get back into live action, Pierre Gustavo cutting to the basket, but she has her shot blocked. And right now, Milford offensively is very much out of sync. And defensively, they have not been able to find an answer for North Attleboro's outside shooting, and now it's Collard who goes back to work down low. 44-28, things really deteriorating rapidly here for Milford. Just under 2.5 minutes to play in the third as Irwin hoists up the 3, and boy did Milford need that. (44-31) now after that shot from Irwin. Now it's Burley up the floor, Burley to the basket. And eventually the whistle comes. Pierre Gustavo lobbing that pass all the way out to Irwin, just outside the center court circle. Now Burley inside, doesn't know where to go with it, kicks it out to Tracy. Now Burley getting it back, tries to slice between a couple of defenders, but the ball picked off by Field. Field and Taggart have just been a wrecking crew for Milford here in the third. Now an athletic reverse lay-in for Julia Santos checking in here in the third quarter. A highlight reel type shot for Santos underneath the basket. Now here's Burley for 3. No good. High going to the floor trying to fight for that rebound, but it's North Attleboro ball. It's a 15-point North Attleboro lead. Now Santos cutting inside again. This time she can't finish the more conventional layup. And Santos can't knock it down, so Irwin back up the floor, finding Pierre Gustavo. Now Irwin again for 3. Getting hot from outside, and Milford needs it. Just over 30 seconds to go now in the third quarter. As now Taggart will hoist up another 3, and she has been unbelievable in this third quarter. Had no points in the first half. And how about 14 points here in the third quarter? Some kind of show from the senior. North Attleboro scored 24 points in the entire first half. So already matching their point total here in the third quarter alone, really coming alive as Tracy is able to come away with that inbounds pass. Now Tommaso under the basket. More tough work for Tommaso. Haven't seen much of Jess in this third quarter, but coming in here late. And now a chance for free throws. Milford really needs every point they can muster. Bad luck for Tommaso on the first attempt. So Tommaso misses both. North pulls up, the shot taken by Emily Scrom. And now Irwin locked up with Caroline Perry underneath the basket as time expires. And so right from the beginning, we talked about Milford's third quarter struggles, and they were in full display here. Milford leading 26-24 at the half, but a dominant performance in the third quarter for North Attleboro. Have the visitors in the driver's seat now up 49-34. Both teams talk it over here in between periods. We will step away, and we'll have fourth quarter action for you when we come back next. Again, you are enjoying coverage of Milford High School girls basketball here on Milford TV. Fourth quarter now underway here in the Milford gym. The Lady Hawks, the Lady Rocketeers, a big 25-point explosion for North Attleboro in the third quarter, outscoring Milford 25-8. And in the process, North Attleboro turning a 2-point deficit into a 15-point lead with now just 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the game. Milford's penultimate game of the regular season after tonight. Just one game remains, and that will take place on February 17th against Sharon in Sharon. As we've mentioned throughout the broadcast, Milford in the tournament, but they would like to try to give themselves a chance to host a playoff game in the first round. These seniors want to come back to their Milford gym one more time, but they're going to need a rally here in the fourth quarter. Emma Liskoff getting the quarter started right with points. But Milford's going to need to try to find a way to contain, in particular, Samantha Taggart and Julia Fields. And Collard also a dangerous presence down low. Collard collecting those points. And meanwhile, Nicole Dahlgren waiting to send in the inbounds pass. Coach Dolliver with a quick couple of words for one of the officials. Kate Irwin collecting that pass on the move, quickly striking to the basket. Irwin will head to the free throw line. The foul called on Emily Scrum. Another tough miss from the line. Milford in such a big hole, they really can't afford to give up these points when the clock's not moving. Milford just 4 for 12 from the free throw line. In this game so far, very disappointing numbers from the line as Collard gets called for the travel. Still a 15-point deficit for Milford with 6.5 minutes to go. Dangerous pass lobbed from Tomaso to Irwin. Milford holds on to it. Now Irwin with the ball in her hands from three-point range. It's off the front of the rim. Morehouse has it with a full head of steam. Leaves it behind for Taggart. She cuts inside and floats it through. Irwin, that pass tipped, but Milford able to hang on to it. Irwin goes down hard after the layup. The shot didn't fall. Not a whole lot of luck around the rim for Milford really throughout this second half. As Kate will have another chance from the line. This time Kate's able to connect. Miss on the second attempt. But the ball loose, Irwin fighting for it. They call for the jump ball, so gritty play there from Irwin off of her own miss. Keeps the possession on the Milford side. They feed Irwin again. Now they leave it back for Liskoff from three-point range. Looked good. It did not land. Milford with, again, a fresh shot clock. Irwin resets. Now spots it up from three and drains it. Now Irwin nearly coming off with the steal. And this shot on the north end, that's exactly what Milford needs. They need stops defensively. The deficit at 13. With the clock ticking down to 5 minutes to play. Feels like Irwin's starting to find her groove here in the fourth quarter. As Dahlgren takes the shot that time, misses the rebound for Liskoff, but misjudges on the layup. Dahlgren, good active hands defensively on that look under the basket for North, and now it's the North Attleboro head coach Derek Herber who calls the timeout. Stops the clock with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Can Milford go on a late run in this game? They trail by 13, the score 53-40 in favor of North Attleboro. Here on coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV. Resuming action here. Under 5 minutes to play. And North Attleboro trying to do a combination of managing the clock and coming away with points. The three-pointer unleashed by Julia Field is no good. Now here's Irwin flying up the floor. And Irwin called for the offensive foul. She is slow to get up. Flexing that left knee as she gets back to her feet. Morehouse getting back there defensively. And now the officials checking on Irwin. Waves them off, says she's okay. Irwin staying aggressive, but that time good defensive play as Morehouse was able to get back and get the feet set. Bad pass there. Irwin pulls the hands back as that goes out of play off of North. Again, just a heady play by the veteran and senior captain, Nicole Dahlgren. Gives Milford the possession, but the clock continuing to wind down. Milford needing points. The shot by Liskoff is offline. Just 4 minutes remain. Milford very much in this game in the first half, but a very tough third quarter, forcing them into a major deficit here in the fourth. They've played better here in the fourth quarter, but still a long way to go, and a shot there by Julia Field making it a little bit tougher. North keeping track of Irwin as she tried to break free in the near corner. Now the pass to Liskoff. A floating shot finds its way through. Milford trying for the trap. Irwin getting a hand on the ball, deflecting it out of play, but it stays with North. The inbounds pass finds its way to Sam Taggart. Taggart guarded by Dahlgren. Trying to trap her on the sidelines along with Jess Tomaso, but eventually the ball weaves its way to Collard. Now Dahlgren from 3, too strong on the shot. And an opportunity now for North to drain more time off this clock, just 2.5 minutes to go. The lead back at 15. Milford has not been able to get it under double digits. And Morehouse fading away from the basket, but couldn't finish it. Now they feed it into Liskoff. She drives inside. It's been a big problem for Milford tonight. A lot of looks right underneath the basket that have not found their way through. Now Morehouse from outside. The shot no good. Under 2 minutes to go. Irwin trying for that long bounce pass underneath the basket. Ended up getting kicked by North. Coach Dolliver sending Emma Liskoff to the bench, and now instead we'll see a timeout called. Time running out in this one, just 1:56 to go. North Attleboro seemingly in control at this point, up 57-42. Again, we'll step away for the timeout as you enjoy coverage of Milford High School girls basketball here on Milford TV. Milford playing one final time in the regular season on their home floor, looking to build off their playoff clinching victory from a night ago, but having a lot of difficulty here in the second half. Juliana Tracy, meanwhile, collecting just her first basket of the night as Milford puts the pressure on defensively. But North gets it up the floor into the hands of Taggart, who has owned the second half. Emily Scrum passing up the shot. Now they drive inside, the ball off of the foot of a Milford player. So a fresh shot clock with just 1:27 to go. Coach Herber on the North Attleboro sideline continuing to bark out orders right to the very end in this one, despite his team feeling like they are in control. Milford with no choice but to foul. Milford, good defense on the inbounds pass, but eventually North able to get it in. Jess Tomaso called for the foul. Tomaso held off the score sheet in this one. Another foul committed by Milford, stopping the clock with 1:14 to go. Julia Santos going hard to the floor, but Nicole Dahlgren immediately extending the hand to help her back up. Santos heading to the line as Morehouse returns to the floor for North Attleboro, replacing Collard. And on the Milford side, Liskoff checking back in. Santos can't make the free throw. Just over a minute to go. Tomaso calls for it out on the wing, and the three-pointer no good for Tomaso. A frustrating night for Milford's outside shooting continues. Ball stays with Milford as Irwin tries to find Liskoff. Again, Milford retains the possession. Back outside to Irwin, less than a minute to go. Milford needs to put a shot up, and instead, Tomaso's pass looking for Liskoff ends up right in the hands of Samantha Taggart. And Milford continues to foul. This one all but in the win column for North Attleboro. So again, you talk about Milford coming into this game looking to potentially pad their spot in the playoff seedings, which will be determined at some point next week. North Attleboro coming into the game in a battle with Foxborough for Davenport Division supremacy. Foxborough holding the slight edge based on league record. Foxborough with one more win against Hockomock League competition, but North Attleboro will earn a victory here tonight, and so Foxborough will have to follow suit, or else we'll see another shakeup atop the division. It's been those teams duking it out back and forth throughout the year. Just 33 seconds left to go in this one. So 30.8 seconds to go. And Milford will send their seniors back out onto the floor. All 5 seniors who were honored during pregame back out on the floor. Dahlgren, Burley, Liskoff, Pye, and Croteau. As Dahlgren works the perimeter, dishing the pass to Christine Pye. She tries to find Croteau, but the pass intercepted, and this will do it. The final 10 seconds will tick off the clock. 59-44 will be your final score in this one. And again, it was quite a second half performance for the North Attleboro Lady Rocketeers. They had just 24 points at the half, but a big 25-point third quarter, and they continued to coast here in the fourth. So again, 59-44, North Attleboro victorious over Milford. So the Lady Hawks could not carry over their magic from last night with their playoff clinching win against Hopedale. So with the loss, Milford drops to 10-9 overall now on the season, and they have just one game to go. It will be played out on the road against the Sharon Lady Eagles coming up on February 17th. So this is the last time we will see the girls in the regular season, and now we wait to see how things will shake out for the playoff seedings. We'll continue to keep you updated on both the boys and girls basketball teams and their playoff fates on the Milford Informer coming up this Friday, and we will also have coverage of the boys basketball team coming up on Friday as they look for their 10th victory, hoping to punch their ticket to the playoffs as well. So a lot of moving pieces as we come to the end of the winter sports season, and we'll continue to have you covered here on Milford TV. In the meantime, a big thank you to our Milford TV crew on hand, our director for tonight, Mike Sperling, our camera operators, Malcolm Zale, John Giacomuzzi, and Robert Arujo. And I am Tim Coed. Again, that final score one final time, North Attleboro 59 and your Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks 44. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.